Hello, it's good to see you again. We're doing Cubism today. Miss Linda was a little intimidated of this while I was in school and even teaching, but I thought we're going for it today. We're going to try something new, and just because it was a certain way at a certain time in history doesn't mean that we can't make it our own. So once I got over that and I decided I'm going to make it my own, and we're going to learn about what it is, but we're going to do it our own way, which it's just amazing how it makes you feel. So this movement was in the 20th century. And Pablo Picasso was one of the foremost artists that really developed this style. He experimented and he succeeded because it was a new vision in painting and art. And the name was actually given by an art critic who looked at the artwork and was kind of like, it's like they took it apart and then they broke it down and then they made it into geometric and cube type shapes and put it back together. And that's what always frightened me until I realized that all he was trying to do was to show the planes, like a sphere is different planes, the top, the bottom, the sides. Same thing with a cube. And once I understood that, I thought, I can do that. So come on with me, we're gonna do it. Are you ready to do Cubism our way? We now know the basic rules of Cubism, and although I found it a little difficult, I understand it more now, and every time I do it, it makes a lot more sense to me. There's going to be a photograph for you to look at. I'm going to show you what inspired me. This is a postcard, actually, of Pablo Picasso's still life. I tried to replicate it or make it look as close as I could to his. And when you start out, you're going to be going very lightly like this. You can hardly see it. And then once you get to this point, you can see all of my little, I went around here and I raced over there until I got what I wanted to. The candles were actually the hardest. So if you want to eliminate those, and then feel free to create your own still life with some fruit, a glass, a tablecloth. Once you get it to this point, and it's just sketching, you're going to move on to, I actually traced this so that I could do my model using just the markers. I'm going to show you this again. Notice all of this deep black intenseness. It's really important when you're doing the Cubist style. That's one thing that I noticed in everything that I looked at, and a variance of colors. I'm going to show you what I ended up with. This is what I started out with. And somewhere in here is a color. This is what I ended up with from this to this. I like the colors I used. I tried to do what he did using the planes. A circle is a geometric object. It does have a center. It does have an axis. Think about the contours, the cross contours that we've done. This is what you want to pull out of the picture. So here we go. I'm going to put this off to the side. And maybe I'll just use some unusual colors this time. All right, this is the beginning. Now you're thinking geometric shapes. So everything should be like a plane, like a flat plane. This is rounded, but it has a plane here, here, and here. Everything has separate planes. So I'm going to go around, deep. Now, this is in front of it, so let's not cover that up. Turn my paper. Using my marker on the side so it's a thicker line. And with this, you cannot go fast. You need to think. Now I'm going to round this out because this, and I'm going to try this like I did the fruit in the last one. I'm going to say that this is the center axis. It's actually, so I'm going to put a little dot there. And then there's going to be one here, here, and here. I have a starting point. Let's do this lemon around. We can always go back and fix these lines. I colored over mine so many times. All right, let's get this going. And because it's an abstract, it does not have to be perfect shapes. Abstract means, however, Your mind sees it, and a lot of times it's however it turns out. I want to make this a little flatter this time because that is a plane. All right, there we go. And I got a little bit on my hand, so I smudged it up there. Markers are a little tricky. You can see this through the glass. So I'm just going to do this, and then let's put a big wide rim on that. Across, up. This was a little tangerine up here. And actually, when I did my tangerine on the other one, it looked like a pumpkin to me, so I will make it a little different. Like I always tell you, you do it once and you learn, you do it twice and you learn more, and you do it over and over again, and then you really become comfortable with it. Let's give a little black space there. Thick, thick. And there were lines coming up the bottom of this bowl. It's actually a vase, but I used it as a bowl. So let's put some lines in there. Candles are very difficult. They are very geometric and they have several planes. I think that's why I had a hard time with them. But I believe doing this a second time, I'm going to be much more comfortable with it. You can see the cube shape, which is where the name comes from. All right, see how that's just, and I'm going to put one line down here just to show that it is a three-dimensional object. Over here, down, across. Once you get your drawing, and I say this very often, it's almost like coloring in a coloring book. Now, I'm going to put this one a little different. The bottom of the candle shows through the glass. Last time I made these square, I'm going to just make these ovals. There we go. And I'm going to put the wick on. There we go. This is a start. I can add anything I want. Go over the black again. And see, you'll get a little dirty, but have my bucket of colors. I'm going to test them out. I'm going to make the fruit. Oh, let's do this. You know, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to put the colors in and then the black lines. Last time I put the black lines in first. I'm going to see if this is a better, and you can see I'm trying to make it look like an axis so that it's very round. And pink is an odd color. See how it pulls the black? That also adds some really cool color to it. At first I was like, oh no, it's pulling it. Beach ball, a little bit, but that's all right. Markers are not like paints. He used paints, so the backgrounds on his are beautiful. I actually started it on the other one. I will show you that at the end of this demonstration. And I was not happy with it. I did not use any red at all last time, so let's go for it. Let's do it over. Remember, abstract. It's supposed to resemble what your subject is, but it does not have to look like it. There we go. Now let's see if I can put the black over. See if I was right. And here's my black. All right, so this is the axis. I keep saying axis, and it's an axis. So maybe I'm just going to call it a rounded line. And then one here. There you go. That looks good. That worked out. See? I tried something new. And maybe I won't be so afraid to not do it right. Or the way I think would be right. That looks great. All right. Since we did pink and red, we're going to take our little bit of yellow here. This will really pull the black. You'll actually see it on the tip of your marker. But that's all right. Everything that happens can be turned into something magical. Green. And then I'll use this different orange. These are two different oranges. So I don't want a pumpkin, so I'm going to go this way. Last time I did it like this, the beach ball look, and I was not fond of it at all. So this time, I'm going to try something new. And I like this much better. Thicken those lines. Now that I've got this done, I can go back and streamline my lines. I can make them thicker. And you'll see every time you go over, especially with the black, it's going to get darker and darker. It takes time, but it's fun. Reds and greens are complementary colors, so I'm going to go green, even though it was sort of a, I'm going to go straight color here. And then I'll just put this on the outside and pull in a dark green in the center to give it depth. All right. Which means I will pull some geometric shapes down here. It's fun because you can do pretty much whatever you like, and then use your black to either give yourself a grid to do it first or go over with the black like I'm doing now. Orange? No, let's go with a blue. Oh, I see this color. Let me test it out. Too dark. Hear that snap? Oh, I like this. So let's go in here with this. Leaving some of the white negative space will add to that dimension. Oh, I like that a lot. Quite a bit. So that means I need to do this. This is what I meant about going over. Look at what happens. It turns it into a new color, and it connects everything together as well, which means my little leaf up here needs a little bit, or a lot. Here we go. Back with the black. I'm going to go deeper. Deeper. Get those geometric shapes. There we go. There we go. There we go. Too thin. Everything on his was super thick, so I want to go thick. See, it's interesting, and you can actually think that it's rounded and two-sided. Here we go. Since I put a belly button on this one, I think I'm going to go with darker colors. Reds, greens. I did not do green last time. I believe I did do green. Miss Linda just loves that green. It's round. Do round shapes. And I want to show you what happened when I put gray over the top. I wanted to find a very light blue, and I did not have one in my bucket of markers. Now watch what happens. And if I take a yellow and put it over the top of that, it's going to change it again. I don't want to lose the green. No, my yellow's a little tired today. I used it yesterday quite a bit. So this is rounded, so let's pull this way. We want to see and imagine that there are several planes, which means the sides, the top, the bottom, the middle. And choice of colors, choice of colors. Red, orange. I'm going to throw a little pink in here just to see what happens. Not bad. It gives it another shape. Then I'm going to come back with my black. And again, since I made that center, I'm going to use that when I put my black in. I have my colors in. I'm going to take my black, and I'm going to pull. I think I'm going to turn it this way. And imagine that this is the bottom of the vase. So let's come up. Thicken that. This is harder when you have to hold it this way and pull the thickness. You have to go slowly. All right, so we've got the roundness, and now this is also round. So which way, Miss Linda? Sometimes when you look at things upside down, your brain isn't so analytical. It doesn't make you want to do it exactly the way it should look. So round, round, round. Let's pull this up. Basically, I'm trying to get rid of that belly button, to be honest. It was a good thought, but it was not proven. There we go, rounded. You can see that it's round. I could sit here and color all day long and show you. I'm going to pull my other one down. Let's do a little comparison. These are really beautiful. These are really beautiful. What I did is I did take a gray and go over the top of most of these to kind of calm down the colors. I'll do my lemon, but I'm not going to make it, let's see, what do I have here? This is very orange, and I have too much orange. So let's do a lemon of multicolor. And remember, this is the axis. See how it pulls it? It actually almost turns it green. However the manufacturer made these colors is obviously someone put a little green or blue in the black. All right, let's go with, I'm going to go with red. I'm going to go with this rose red. You try to get the colors complementary, and if you study some of the cubists, they use a limited amount of colors. But then again, back then they had a limited amount of access to paints and things. Not like us. We have everything we need or want. Now I'm going to go over this with a little bit of the orange. I'm going to go over everything with it. I'm going to completely change the dynamics of this. But as you can see that it is a round object. And again, circles are geometric. That's done. Put my black on. So we want to know that this is the tip. So let's put a really thick line here, a thick line here. I'm going to round this way, and then I'm going to separate this all the way to the top. It's all about interest. It's all about the person looking at it from what I've read and learned about it. And then it's up to the viewer to figure out what it is. Here's the gray. This is what I meant about putting gray over. It puts a shadow on it, on everything. I really like it. I can go over my black with this. See how it deepens it? And it just totally changes the look of it. Let's do some up here. Let's cut some of this yellow out. Look at that. It almost picks up that green color underneath. And this is a little rainbowish, or looks like a marble. I'd like to change that too, because I want this to be abstract. So I'm going to go in a completely different direction and fill that in. It adds interest. Again, here we go. Let's do it over here. Gray over the top. Gray over the top. Ooh, should I do it? Should I do it? Yeah, I should do it. All right, here we go. Up, down, up, down. Beautiful. It makes it solid. I'm not sure why, but when I was experimenting with it, it made a huge difference on the look of my painting. Now, I have this, which is a good start. I can finish this later. This is the one I was working on. I was trying to do a background, which is difficult because we don't have paints. The paints, you can make it almost transparent. In his, you can tell that this is glass, that this is a curtain, that there's creases in the tablecloth. With markers, it's a little bit hard to do that. I had to look through all of my markers to find something that was a light blue. Let's check it out. Let's see if it works. This is more like a paintbrush, so it will take work. This is so dark here, I knew if I put any other color besides yellow, which would not look good. Let's see if I put this light blue in here. These you work with differently. I'm going to get on the newspaper because I'm going to have to go off the edge. And it really picks up the black. But you can see what happens when you start putting a background in. You get the whole dimension. Doing a still life takes practice. Every time you do it, you're going to find something that you love about it. See how it doesn't give you a straight line? Maybe I should go slower, Miss Linda. But at least I've not cornered it in with a big dark corner. This actually looks all right, which makes me want to go and see what this color is. This is a different company also. That's awfully dark too. But let's see if I just do a stripe to give it that window look. I just need to find a big light blue. That looks fine. A little bit down here then too as a shadow. When you get to this point, you may want to stop and maybe draw something again. If you want to get a bowl of fruit and just do a bowl of fruit and not do a pitcher, which is for water or juice or something, start easy and work your way up so that you don't become disappointed. Every time you do it, it's going to be different. Every time you do something, it's going to be magnificent because you put the effort in to do it once Do it again until you are satisfied with it. Either one of these are going to be spectacular if I finish them. This one, I want not until I find my blue marker. Practice, start out with a sketch. You can use my still life, there'll be a photo of it. But if you want to, go ahead and put things together yourself. Even if it's a toy, do what feels good for you. Practice, be patient. This is not simple, but it is enjoyable because you just make these new colors and have a blast. So that wasn't so scary after all, was it? I was really happy with doing it a second time and actually learning something new myself. Now, like I mentioned, his was done with paints. You can try it with paints. This is a good starting point for you. Learn how to get those shapes, that, flat forms and all the planes. And then if you have paints and you want to do it, please do it. But enjoy it because it's not scary. It's just a blast.